Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of the South Central Louisiana State Mud Dogs Dynasty. This is John Jake Gaming, and today we're going to be going on the road against Old Dominion University. Really no margin for error. They may not have as good as a record as we currently have, but definitely a team that we can't take for granted. They are going to be at home, so see what we'll be able to do here today. And one thing I gotta say before this game officially starts is that I actually love Old Dominion Stadium. It's probably one of the most unique and probably one of my favorite in college football in terms of like smaller college stadiums. Taking a look at the standings here, South Central Louisiana State is sitting right in the middle, sitting at 5th out of 10 in the Sun Belt. Really solid season for the very first season in the Sun Belt as well as in the football Bowl subdivision in Division 1. But here we are at Foreman Field, getting ready to just about take the coin toss, see what happens here. We are on the road, so we always going to go with heads, because heads is best, you know what I'm saying? And we win the coin toss, so we're actually going to kick it off. And Old Dominion's going to start with the ball to begin this football game. We're going to start off with a drop back to pass, and it's going to be caught right over the middle by Justin Little. Nice 16-yard grab. Old Dominion, of course, at least on the offensive end, was always known for two things whenever is in the FCS prior to making the transition to the FBS. Their no huddle offense as well as their air raid. So there's going to be a lot of passes that are going to be thrown today as Charles Collier makes the catch for 6 yards before going out of bounds. So be interesting to see how this game goes here today. We have dealt with the no-huddle offense before, but we haven't dealt with an air raid kind of like Old Dominion's. So it'll be interesting to see as he actually gets right behind us. Charles Collier with another catch, this time for almost 30 yards and another first down for the Monarchs here at Foreman Field. But yeah, it'll be interesting how this game's going to go. Probably going to be a high-scoring game, but, we'll definitely see what happens here. It's going to be drop back to pass. It's going to be a screen over to the left-hand side. Charles Collier, once again, already with his third catch of his drive, has really carried this offense, as well as Brown is making some really good decisions as well. If we're going to win this game, we're going to have to figure out how to stop both of those players. And, getting drops like that definitely helps. Victor Brown with his first incompletion on the day is going to force a small 3rd and 1. So 3rd and 1 here would be really nice to be able to get this stop. So Victor Brown's going to drop back the pass, and it was thrown slightly behind him, but Dan Johnson is able to contort his body in a way that he's able to make the catch. It'll be a goal line situation. Couple of plays later is going to be a throw out to the right hand side. This time it's caught by Travis Alexander, the running back, and it's going to be a really short 3rd and goal for the Old Dominion Monarchs. They've been driving early on, but as of late the Mud Dogs have done a really good job with their goal line defense, getting those important stops in the red zone. See if that's the case here, and it was almost caught in the backfield, but Charles Campbell is able to get into the end zone, and the Monarchs are going to lead 7-0. Ensuing kickoff is going to be actually kicked to Mike Bullock. He's having a hard time getting read on the ball, but he's able to get it there, and he has a corner. He only has one more man to beat. Can he beat him? And the kicker is just able to get himself over there, but the Mud Dogs are going to take over on Old Dominion's 45-yard line. Next play is going to be a run to Casey Bugg, who, if we're lucky, maybe he'll be able to get 1,000 yards, but maybe not with rushes like that. Loss of a yard there. 2nd and 11 is going to be, looks like a drop back for G. Grenouille. Grenouille's going to throw it to Scott Miles, the senior. The senior makes a nice job making the catch and turning upfield. Nice 18-yard gain on the play. And, the passing game has definitely improved as well. I'm very happy to see that. It's turning to a nice compliment for this rushing attack. Not necessarily right there, though, as that pass falls to the ground. Darren Joyce was able to get his hands on it, but Joyce is not able to corral the catch, making this 3rd and 9 for the Mud Dogs. Grenouille is going to drop back the pass. He's going to dump it down to Casey Bugs because he didn't see anybody of field. So there's going to be a forced field goal, and it's going to be 7-3 early on. Old Dominion is going to take over here at about the 25-yard line. First play is going to be another throw to Travis Alexander. Alexander with the 7-yard catch. Did not have any time to get upfield and get any yards after catch. So that's a decent side, but we'll see if we can get a stop here. Don't want to fall big early on to this team because it falls right in the Old Dominion's hands. And Travis Alexander, they're actually going to run it. 23-yard gain on the play, and he breaks a couple of tackles. Nice, powerful running by the Monarchs running game. And it's going to be 1st and 10 once again, this time at about midfield for the Monarchs. Next play is going to be a play-action pass. Really nice job of selling the play action and getting it off to Aaron Harrison. He was able to get just about 10 yards on the play. Makes it 2nd and inches. Definitely not a good start for the Mud Dogs team as a whole. Had an opportunity to get some points early on and only able to get away with field goal despite starting on the Monarch side of the field. And then here we are with Old Dominion driving once again. But here's a 3rd and 1. Just might be able to turn this game around. We'll see what happens on the next play. Okay, it's going to be a run, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield. Travis Alexander did not have time to get moving as Nicholas Beverly is able to corral the tackle, making it 4th and 3. But Old Dominion is going to go for it. It's going to be another run to the left-hand side. The Mud Dogs meet him at the line of scrimmage, but he's able to stiff arm his way through the defenders, and it's going to be a 1st and 10. Couple of plays later, Victor Brown's going to drop back the pass. It's going to be thrown right over the middle to Charles Collier. Collier with his 4th catch already on the day, really being a vocal point for this Monarchs passing attack. And just nothing has really worked, regardless if it's a man coverage or if it's a zone coverage. You might be able to have to make some adjustments on the next possession as Charles. I thought that was Collier for a second, but it's Charles Hawley. Looks like there's 2 Charles on this team this time around, as it's going to be another 1st and goal. Really important that the Mud Dogs get a stop here. Don't want to fall 2 possessions of this team. And Victor Brown, he stopped once again. He stopped in the backfield, but Victor Brown is just somehow able to push his way into the end zone, and the Monarchs are going to be up 14-3 with about minute 30 left in the first quarter. So here we are. The Mud Dogs have a lot of work to do. For ensuing possession is going to start off with a run to Casey Bug. Bug is able to gain 10 yards on the play and is going to be 1st and 10. Or not 1st and 10, but it was 2nd and inches. A couple of plays later, it's going to be a scramble for Grenouille. Doesn't see anybody, so he's going to scramble. And this time he's able to get 6 yards on the play, making it a very short 3rd and 2. See if they're able to convert, and that's simply not going to be the case. Casey Bug did not have any running room once he got the handoff, and they're going to have to punt it away to end this first quarter. So a tough quarter for the Mud Dogs as Old Dominion is already off to a 14-3 lead, and they're going to have the ball to start the second quarter essentially, making this next possession extremely important. But can we get a stop here? Ensuing play is going to be another throw for Victor Brown as Collier is not able to corral the catch. Next play here is going to be a 2nd and 10. It's going to be a run over to the right-hand side. Alexander has a room and he has a little bit of a convoy, but TJ Covington is able to swoop in there and prevent potentially another touchdown for the Monarchs. That was definitely a nice tackle for TJ Covington, but we didn't want it to come down to the safety. Next play for the Monarchs is going to be a play-action pass over to the left-hand side, and it's almost a touchdown, but the receiver is not able to make the catch. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Monarchs. A couple of plays later, is now 3rd and 10, still chilling at about the 35-yard line. It's going to be actually a screen play over to the right-hand side, and Travis Alexander dives to make the catch, but he is met by multiple Mud Dog defenders. Going to be in 4th and 15. Forcing the Monarchs to really make this extremely large field goal attempt. See if the kicker can make this. This is an extremely long field goal attempt. And it looks like it's going to be off to the left. So the Monarchs leave points on the board, and Mud Dogs are going to take over with some nice field position. This next play is going to be a throw over to Casey Bug, who makes the catch and gained 15 yards before getting absolutely pummeled. Still gets the first down, though, for the Mud Dogs. A couple of plays later, it's a 3rd and 7. This time, it's another throw over to Carlos Burrell. Burrell, unfortunately, cannot make the catch, and the Mud Dogs are going to be forced to punt. So Hardy is out. This senior is out to make a punt. Really need to pin them deep here. And look at the punt placement by the senior. Forces the Monarchs to start with the ball at inside the 2-yard line. However, the Monarchs are able to escape from the shadow of their own goal line. But it looks like there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it's on. And it looks like it's a clipping penalty on Justin Little. But with it being like a spot foul, be a 15-yard penalty with it being 1st and 6 instead of 1st and 10. So the Monarchs still technically get out of the shadow of their goal line a little bit. Next play is a throw over to Charles Hawley. Hawley, with his 2nd catch of the day, gets the first down, and more importantly, gets the Monarchs out of the shadow of their own goal line for sure. Really a missed opportunity for the Mud Dogs defense to potentially get a safety, or even better, a turnover that leads to a defensive touchdown, as Aaron Harrison makes the catch right there. Monarchs move into their no-huddle offense that they are so known for during their time in the FCS subdivision. But this time they're going to hand it off to Travis Alexander, who is stuffed in the backfield by Bobby Boucher. Boucher is having a really nice day so far with 5 tackles and 2 of them for a loss in this first half. Really showing up for a game that might ultimately determine whether the Mud Dogs go to a bowl game or not. Ensuing play, Victor Brown's going to drop back, but he's going to have his receiver drop it. Mud Dogs are going to take over. A couple of plays later, it's 2nd and 6, and it's going to be a read option. G. Gunnell is going to keep it, and it's a nice 10-yard gain on the play. Moves the chains for the first down, as they are starting to really assert themselves on the ground a little bit. Next play is a run to Casey Bug, who continues to trend as he gains 8 yards this time around, making it a short 2nd and 2 for this Mud Dogs offense. A couple of plays later, it's 3rd and 1. It looks like they're going to run. No, it's a play fake to John Espinoza. John Espinoza makes the catch, and it's a first down. Really nice job by the quarterbacks to sell the play fake, and it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Mud Dogs in the red zone. Last time they were in the red zone, they settled for a field goal, and it's what a dot. What a dot to Casey Bug. Nice route by the halfback. Gets it over the defender as he wasn't paying full attention to what the quarterback was doing. And it's 1st and goal at the 2-yard line, which is going to be executed nicely by Carl Wright. He gets into the end zone, and it's a touchdown for your Mud Dogs. Mud Dogs cut this lead down to 1 possession with about 1:30 left in the first half. Old Dominion, though, still has a 14-10 lead. Ensuing possession, Victor Brown is in the shotgun. He's going to drop back the pass for what seems like the 100th time. And this time he's going to get it to Charles Collier once again. Charles Collier already with 5 catches for 77 yards on the day. And really not a great defensive look for the Mud Dogs, as they are in a defensive play that is not meant for the pass, but is going to be thrown over to Charles Collier once again, already with a 6th catch. A couple of plays later, 2nd and 3 now for the Monarchs. It's going to be a throw over to the right-hand side, and it looks like it's Collier for the 7th time today. Collier with a 16-yard catch, and already with 100 receiving yards on the day. Mud Dogs simply do not have an answer for Charles Collier early on in this football game. 1st and 10 though for the Monarchs. Going to be another drop back in the shotgun for Victor Brown. This time it's over to Harrison, who is stuffed as soon as he catches the ball. Only is able to gain a few yards on the play. So about 1:14 left. Mud Dogs, despite being outplayed thus far in this game, they might be able to get to halftime with only down by a single possession, but the Mud Dogs really need to step up and not allow a touchdown in the next minute. And it's going to be Victor Brown on the read option this time. He's only able to gain a few yards, but he's able to move the chains for the first down. Next play here, another shotgun snap. Really loves the shotgun. It's a nice diving grab by Travis Alexander. Alexander is able to keep the ball rolling, able to move it a few more yards, and really pin the South Central Louisiana State team back just a little bit more. Bruce Terrell has some really nice covers, as well as a nice pass rush by our defensive lineman. Makes it 3rd and 5. So here we are, probably the biggest play of the first half. It's going to be a throw over to a halfback Travis Alexander, and Alexander makes the catch, and more importantly gains the first down. Makes it 1st and goal inside the 5. Mud Dogs really need to step up here. I know I say it a lot, but that's a critical moment, and Travis Alexander is able to walk right into the end zone. Travis Alexander did not face a single shred of resistance. Really reminds me of the ECU game earlier this year, as Old Dominion takes the 21-10 lead. So here we are, the Mud Dogs have the ball with 20 seconds, just about. See if they're able to do anything with it. He's going to throw it deep to John Espinoza. It's almost picked off by John Terry. Terry was able to undercut the ball, and it's going to be the last meaningful play of the first half. Old Dominion is going to go into his locker room carrying a 21-10 lead. However, the Mud Dogs are going to have the ball to start the second half. So they have an opportunity to seize momentum for the rest of this game. So here we are with the second half. Mike Bullock is going to get the kickoff, and he has some blockers. He's able to get to just about, looks like, the 42-yard line. So a really nice way to start the second half, as the Mud Dogs are going to have some really nice field position as they try to claw back into this football game. Ensuing drive, Casey Bugg makes a nice cut up the left-hand side, is able to avoid a couple defenders, and Casey Bugg with his longest rush of the day for 20 yards. Really nice cut and really nice blocking by this offensive lineman. Casey Bugg gets the 20-yard gain on the play. A couple of plays later, it's going to be a drop back over to, looks like, Darren Joyce. What a throw and what a catch by the quarterback receiver tandem. G. Grenouille was just staring down the barrel of the gun with multiple defenders coming through the gap on the blitz, but he kept his composure and is able to gain the first down. Next play, Casey Bugg moving up the middle. He's able to gain 12 yards though, and the Mud Dogs are suddenly moving, and they have a little bit of life in them. Certainly not going to give up just yet. This is a different football team from what we saw earlier this season, as Bugg is able to, or not Bugg, that's actually Carl Reich, he's able to move it for a few yards. Next play, G. Grenouille is ready to take the snap. It's going to be a slants pattern. He doesn't see anybody, and he takes a sack in the backfield. He's sacked for 5 yards by Ernest McCarty, who gets his first sack of the day, making it a long 3rd and 11. So here we are. It's a long 3rd down. Mud Dogs need to score some points. What are they going to do? And it's a strike to the end zone, and it's a touchdown. Darren Joyce is able to hold on to the ball and is able to cut this lead down to 21-17. What a throw by G. Grenouille. Sees Darren Joyce in the corner of the end zone, and Darren Joyce is able to hold on to it with a defender right next to him. Ensuing play, though, for the Monarchs, and it looks like a little bit of miscommunication as the ball falls painlessly to the ground for 2nd and 10. Next play, it's going to be a quarterback draw by Victor Brown. Victor Brown drew the middle linebacker out to guard one of the receivers on the left-hand side, and is able to take advantage of the missing linebacker and is able to make this a really short 3rd and 2. See what the Monarchs have planned. It's a read option, and they're stuffed in the backfield. Bruce Terrell is able to make the stop, and the Mud Dogs are able to get the ball right back. So now the Mud Dogs have the opportunity to take their very first lead of the day. They're going to start that opportunity with Casey Bugg's 6-yard run, making it a very manageable 2nd and 4 for the Mud Dogs. Next play, it looks like it's going to be a read option. They're going to fake it to Bug and give it to Grenouille. Grenouille is able to get the first down, set up a nice 1st and 10 at about the Mud Dogs' 45-yard line. Next play is going to be another run up the gut. Casey Bug is able to gut out 4 yards before it is met by the Old Dominion defense. Sets up a 2nd and 6. Next play is going to be hand off to Bug. No, it's a fake. He has Nate Colvin. Can Nate Colvin get there? Yes, he does, and it's a touchdown. 52-yard touchdown for Nate Colvin, his first receiving touchdown of the day. What a throw by G. Grenouille, is able to throw it to where only Nate Colvin can get to it. Nate Colvin with some speed to kill, and the Mud Dogs have their very first lead of the day. Ensuing possession, it's going to be a throw to the left-hand side. Victor Brown is not able to get into the same page with his receivers in this half. Old Dominion is struggling out the gate. Next play is going to be a throw to the left-hand side, which is completed this time around. Travis Alexander is able to crowd in for a 5-yard gain. 3rd and 5 for Old Dominion as they try to move into their no huddle. They sense the momentum starting to shift towards the Mud Dogs, and they're trying to stop it. But I don't know if it's gonna happen, and Aaron Harrison is stopped in the backfield by Aaron Smiley, and the Monarchs are gonna have to punt it away once again. Wonderful play by Aaron Smiley and the Mud Dogs defense. So here we are, the Monarchs are gonna have to punt this ball away. Mike Bullock is back to receive, and he muffs it. He doesn't know where the ball is, and he's able to recover it, but what a potential disaster that could have been. Oh man, we are very fortunate that the Mud Dogs are able to get this ball back. So 1st and 10 for the Mud Dogs after the near disaster. It's going to be a handoff to Casey Bugs for a 6-yard gain on the play. Sets up another manageable 2nd down. And it looks like the Mud Dogs are going to go with another play action. Is it going to work a 2nd time? This time Nate Colvin gets behind the defense again, and no one can catch him. Touchdown for the Mud Dogs. Nate Colvin is getting behind this defense extremely well. That's his 2nd receiving touchdown on the last 2 possessions. And what another beautifully thrown ball by G. Grenouille. He is just having one of his best performances on the season thus far. And just like that, the Mud Dogs are up 31-21. Next play is going to be a run to Travis Alexander. Very first play of the Old Dominion possession. And it's a 1st down for the Monarchs. The Monarchs definitely know now that the momentum is shifting far away, like Pluto far away from their offense. They really need to go and try to get it back. And it looks like Travis Alexander did something to his leg. We'll have to keep you posted on what he did to his leg. And we did hear back from Old Dominion's training staff. It is only a pulled hamstring, so we're glad that he's okay. But for now, it looks like Victor Brown is very content with just passing this ball to try to move the Monarchs up the football field. He is having a solid day, 23 for 31, 206 yards so far. But that's not going to be his brightest moment, as Victor Brown doesn't even realize that his receiver was not looking, and it's going to be 2nd and 10. Only 45 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. And, probably one of the best quarters that the Mud Dogs have played all season, as Dan Johnson, he gets his 3rd catch of the day for 9 yards, and it's going to be a very short 3rd and 1. Can the Monarchs score on this drive right here? It's going to be a run to Alexander, or not Alexander, Washington. We were thinking about Alexander for a second, but Dan Washington is able to make a really nice run up the right-hand side, breaks multiple tackles, and it's going to be a really nice touchdown for the Monarchs as they are able to cut this to a 3-point lead. Multiple Mud Dogs had opportunities to bring him down, but it simply was not meant to be. Mud Dogs still have a 31-28 lead. Next play is going to be a 1-yard loss for Casey Bug. John Dukes was able to get into the backfield to force that negative play. Following play, though, is going to be a throw to Drew, but Drew Sullivan is able to break it up as it's going to be a 3rd and 11. Really dangerous situation for the Mud Dogs. You don't want to turn it over here. Charles Burrell, though, he gets his hands on it, but he can't make the catch. The Mud Dogs are going to have to punt it away. So here we are in the 4th quarter. Both teams are still in it. Who's going to step up more? Aaron Smiley with the coverage makes it 2nd and 10. If our defense plays like they just did on that previous play, I think we'll be able to go out on top. Following play, though, Victor Brown, what seemed like all day to throw, he's sacked, and it's on the ground. Oh, but the Old Dominion linemen are able to fall on it. Almost an amazing play by Nicholas Beverly. He's able to get the sack and force the fumble, although the Mud Dogs were not able to recover it. Still a nice play, though. It's going to be 3rd and 17. So with how that drive went, the Mud Dogs are going to get the ball right back, and they're going to throw it over to TJ Wood. TJ Wood is just dragging defenders with him on his way for a 24-yard gain, his first catch on the day. Next play is going to be G. Grenouille under center. Scott Miles goes into the motion as it's going to be a throw over to John Espinoza, but John Espinoza is not able to make a catch. 2nd and 10 for the Mud Dogs. Next play, it looks like it's going to be a read option for the Mud Dogs, and they key in on Casey Buggs. They forget about the quarterback, and G. Grenouille is able to get 7 yards before he's met by the Monarchs defense. Sets up a really short 3rd and 3. So here we are, 3rd and 3. They're trying to send the house, but Casey Bugg just runs right around them, and he's able to gain 12 yards on the play. Really nice day for Casey Bugg. He's able to gain 81 yards off of 20 carries so far this season, or not this season, but in this game. Next play is going to be a throw to Nate Concepcion. Nate Concepcion is going to get into the end zone. It's going to be a touchdown. G. Grenouille's 4th passing touchdown of the day, a season high for G. Grenouille. Kid is just having the day of his life, and nice hands by Nate Concepcion, by the way. Able to get into the end zone, basically able to walk in. Probably could have walked in the last 5 yards, and the Mud Dogs are going to be able to take a 10-point lead. Ensuing possession, the Monarchs are going to throw it over to the right-hand side, and it's a nice catch by the receiver, able to get the first down, courtesy of Dan Johnson. Old Dominion's moving in their no huddle. They smell the urgency of the moment. So Victor Brown's going to go into the shotgun. Defense is pushing in, but he's able to have enough time to throw it, and it's going to be a huge gain for Dan Johnson. Able to gain 27 yards on the play. A couple plays later is going to be an all-out blitz, and who is that? Is that Covington? TJ Covington is able to get the pick. Can he go all the way? Yes, he can. TJ Covington with the amazing play. Picks off Victor Brown and takes it all the way to the end zone. And it's going to be a touchdown for the Mud Dogs. Huge defensive touchdown for South Central Louisiana State as they take a 45-28 lead. Ensuing possession, the Monarchs are going to go right back to the pass, this time with Victor Brown, the shotgun, and is nearly sacked, but is able to throw it away just in time. It's going to be 2nd and 10 for Old Dominion University. The next play is going to be another play from the shotgun position. Victor Brown is going to pass it over to Dan Washington, who does move it forward for 14 yards for a first down. Couple of plays later, it's going to be a 3rd and 6. Running back goes into motion for Victor Brown, and it's going to be another pass play, and he's going to be just short. J.D. Vincent with a 6-yard catch, but it's going to be just short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and 1. Monarchs are forced to go for it, but the Monarchs do get the first down. Dan Washington is able to find just a big enough hole to run through in order to get the first down and continue to drive for the Old Dominion Monarchs. Old Dominion's down by 17 with only 3 minutes left to go, and plays like that might just be able to get him to the game, back into the game as Dan Johnson gains 20 yards on the play, and they're right in the red zone. If they can score here, they can still potentially make this a game. As Victor Brown's going to drop back, and in between two men, Marcus Fallon is able to make the catch. Marcus Fallon just goes up for his quarterback, beats multiple Mud Dog defenders. With the way he leapt for that ball, he deserved to get that touchdown. Old Dominion cuts it to a 35-45 lead. So now Old Dominion is forced to go for the onside kick, and it's a decently placed ball. However, Joyce is there to recover it, and the Mud Dogs are going to be able to take over at the 40-yard line. A few plays later, the Mud Dogs are they're trying to run out the clock, but being so close to the end zone, we had to go for this junk time touchdown. And Casey Bug is going to be able to sneak in for, it looks like, his first rushing touchdown of the day. So Mud Dogs are going to probably walk in for a 52-30 or 35 win. But, just in case, we'll see what Old Dominion can do here. Oh, they got a big completion on us. Justin Little with a nice catch for Justin Little. Good for him. 17 yards. Still with only 30 seconds left. It'll probably still be same score by the time this game is over. See, look at that. Victor Brown doesn't have the time to throw. We're not gonna let a junk times touchdown get scored on us, even though we definitely scored a touchdown in garbage time. As Justin Little makes another catch. This time it's going to be 4th and 5 with only 12 seconds left, but they're going to go into the no huddle. Gotta respect Old Dominion for at least showing some fight here and not giving up. And Victor Brown's just going to watch it to see what happens. And Dan Johnson is just able to make the catch over Bruce Terrell. As Dan Johnson already with 7 catches in his own right. Makes it 1st and 10, and looks like Old Dominion's going to have a nice, decent shot at the end zone. So here we are with 3 seconds left, so it's going to be the very last play of the game. It's going to be a play-action play to Victor Brown, and J.D. Vincent is going to score his first touchdown of the day. But it looks like that's going to be the end of the game, though, as the Mud Dogs are able to walk away from Foreman Field here at Old Dominion's campus with a 52-42 win. Definitely an extremely high-scoring game, but surprisingly one that the Mud Dogs were able to win. Usually not how the Mud Dogs like to play, but hey, a win is a win, and we'll definitely take that 6th win on the season. That is going to make us bowl eligible for the first time in the school's history. And you can see in the box score that, nothing spectacular that South Central Louisiana State did as an offense, aside from that huge comeback in the second half. 42 points, that's the most that the Mud Dogs had this season in a single half. Also, shout out to G. Gannell as he's able to get 263 yards and 4 touchdowns, no picks. Also, because of that game, we're able to get coaching upgrades for both our head coach as well as our coordinators. So definitely going to go over to our Coach Central area to check out some of those upgrades. So for our head coach, because we got that win on the road, looking at this Road Warrior, definitely going to improve that stat a little bit as, we'll move that up to level 2. I know it's not what other YouTubers do, but I'll just try to be a different cat. Also for our coordinators, got the no-fly zone for our defensive coordinator. Part of the reason why your boy TJ Covington got that first interception. And then on the offensive end, Maurice Mason, we gave him the up-tempo upgrade just so that we can keep our players healthier, particularly Casey Bug, as well as improve the stamina of our offensive players so that we can continue to ground our opponents to the ground. And on top of that, we also got some positive news from the recruiting front as Jason Washington decides to continue his football career at South Central Louisiana State. Really nice defensive player that we're going to add to this team next season. So next week, we are going to finish our season off with Texas State at home. Going to be a senior day, hopefully to remember for seniors that really stuck it out for our team throughout the course of the season. Just about even with us. We have similar ratings. But that's all I have for today. Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you like my content. But until then, hopefully you guys have a good one, and I appreciate that you guys take some time out of your day to watch some of my videos. Thanks.